Welcome to this Sudoku tutorial for beginners. The first technique that is typically used to solve a Sudoku puzzle is called scanning. Scanning means looking for opportunities to place numbers. The scanning method is easy, and it's the first thing you should do when you start a puzzle. Let's see how it works. Here's a Sudoku puzzle. Let's start by first looking at the top rank, this big group of rows at the top, blocks 1, 2, and 3. Now look for a number that's repeated twice. Do you see one? Let's start with the number 1. You can see it's repeated twice, once in block 1 and once in block 2. Remember, each number 1 through 9 must appear once in each row, once in each column, and once in each block. So block 3 needs a 1. And where can it go? Well, row A already has a 1 here, and row C has a 1 here, but row B doesn't have a 1 in it, and block 3 doesn't have a 1 in it, so the 1 in block 3 must go in row B. And now you can easily place the number 1 here in row B, column 8, since columns 7 and 9 are already occupied. In Sudoku, there are two main ways to solve puzzles, by either placing techniques or elimination techniques. This method of scanning for opportunities is classified as a placing technique. Okay, so we place the number 1. Let's look for more opportunities. If we continue to scan the top rank for the numbers that appear twice, you can see the number 2 appears twice. Now, using the same logic we just used to place the number 1, do you see where the number 2 should go? We know it needs to be placed somewhere in block 2 since blocks 1 and 3 already have the number 2. And we know that it'll be in row A since rows B and C already have a 2. So the only place a 2 can go in block 2 is here in row A, column 4. Obviously, you can't solve most puzzles using only scanning, but it should be the first technique you use to fill in as many cells as you can. Keep repeating this process for the numbers 1 through 9. So if we continue on, we see that in the top rank the number 9 appears twice. So where can we place the missing number 9? It would go here in row A, column 2, right? Do you see why? Pause this video and take a look to make sure you understand why the number 9 must go in this cell and only in this cell. The number 9 already appears in blocks 2 and 3, but it's not in block 1, so we need a 9 somewhere in block 1. But since there's already a 9 in row B and a 9 in row C, then the 9 must go somewhere in row A. And the only cell that's open in block 1, row A, is here. So that's where it must go. Once we're finished scanning the top rank, we move on to scan the middle rank and then the bottom rank. And then we can look down the stacks. Those are the columns of 3 by 3 blocks. These are called stacks. Let's have a look down the left stack and start scanning, beginning with the number 1. Do you see a number that repeats itself? Yes, it's the number 1, and it's repeated twice in the left stack, once in block 1 and once in block 4. So we know we need to place a 1 somewhere in block 7, but where? This time we're looking down the columns. Remember, a number can only appear once in each column. Well, there's already a 1 in column 1 and a 1 in column 3, so the 1 must go in column 2. Where? That's easy. These two cells are already occupied, so it must go here, in row J, column 2. Now, before you tell me that there should be a row I, since after H comes I, and then J, I'm using the standard Sudoku notation and skipping I so that it's not confused with the number 1. Some Sudoku books and apps use the letter I, but many skip I for J so as not to confuse it with the number 1. So this is where the 1 would be placed in row J, column 2. Let's finish this stack and then you can move on to lesson 2 and solve an entire puzzle using this scanning technique and another easy technique called counting. The other digits that repeat themselves in this left stack are the numbers 2, 6, and 8. Pause this video and see if you know where they should be placed. This is not a guessing game. Sudoku is a game of pure logic. There's only one place a 2 can go, and it's here. Do you see why? And the 6 must go here, and the 8 here. If you followed along and were able to place the 2, the 6, and the 8 by yourself, then you're ready to move on to Lesson 2, where we'll solve an entire Sudoku puzzle together. If you had trouble placing those numbers, then let's have a look at how it's done. The number 2 appears twice in this stack, in blocks 1 and 7, so it must appear in block 4. And the 2 is already in columns 1 and 2, so it must be in column 3. There are already numbers in these 2 cells, so the 2 can only go here in row D, column 3. The number 6 appears in blocks 1 and 4, so it must be placed somewhere in block 7. Where? Well, columns 2 and 3 already have a 6, so column 1 needs a 6. Where in block 7, column 1, can we place the number 6? That would be here, row H, column 1. That's the only place the 6 can go. Now we scan again and see the number 8 is repeated twice in this left stack in blocks 4 and 7. So it needs to be placed in block 1. Where in block 1? Well, columns 2 and 3 already have the number 8. So it must be placed in column 1, and the only place it can go is here in row B, column 1. Now you may be thinking this is too easy, you can't solve an entire Sudoku puzzle using only this technique, and you're right. Most puzzles, even easy ones, need at least this method and the counting method to solve a puzzle. In the next video in this series, Lesson 2, I'll show you how to solve an easy level puzzle using only the scanning and counting methods, and I'll explain the counting method in that video as well. Try solving the puzzle yourself before watching how I go about solving it. If you continue following this series of videos, you'll gradually learn to solve more difficult puzzles and feel more confident with each challenge. It's a rewarding experience when you do solve a puzzle. Thank you for joining me on this exciting journey. I hope you learned something. Bye!